It's Wednesday, and I don't know how to take it when Sean says, I'm going to blow your mind.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Exercise with an ape maker, human down. It talks. We are the keepers of the divine bound. It is our only reason for survival. We are determined to know what the apes want, war or peace. The only good human is a dead human!
The minute of apes. The minute of apes. The minute of apes. The minute of apes.
Hello, and welcome to Minute of the Apes, a daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. That's Richard.
Hey.
And the guy that's blowing my mind.
I'm glad you said mind. That's all I'm going to say.
I knew you were waiting on something. That's why I made you wait. That's Sean.
Hey.
We're on Wednesday. We're on minute.
What the heck was that?
That was a couple of Texans saying hi.
So-
hi.
Hey, yo.
Because we all text and talk just like that. Hey, hey, Richard.
We all got them.
Richard.
Yeah.
How y'all today?
Hey,
Hey.
hi.
Oh.
We're on minute 37. Sean, tell
minute 38.
38.
All right.
Scratch that. We're on minute 38. Sean, tell us what's going on with
All
minute
right.
38.
We start minute 38 with a zoo crew still checking out their new home and ends with Zero looking at Cornelius in his new suit, and she's loving it.
Buckle up, because here comes minute 38 of Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
May I measure your inside leg, sir? No. Oh.
As minute 38, we still have a planet's worth of humans plus 2 living apes and 1 poor dead ape. That ape never got a chance.
No.
Poor Milo.
Poor Milo.
So, they're going to give them alcohol?
Well, yeah, okay, whoa, before that.
Wait, we're not at that. We're not the alcohol part, are we?
No, but in
It's
the
in this
shot,
minute,
it's in
yes.
there.
What do you mean?
Because the immediate first shot of this is what's in the room.
Right. I just saw flower baskets. I didn't see all the rest of
There's
it.
champagne in buckets. There are 2 buckets with champagne in it. There are flowers everywhere. There are
Oh,
fruit
yeah, there are
baskets.
flowers
What
everywhere.
I'm more interested in is to the far left of that shot is an exercise bike.
I do have a note here, and they're lucky they don't have pollen allergies, but yeah.
Why do you give people that have just come here, hey, here's an exercise bike?
Get to fucking work, lazy ass.
you damn monkeys.
It's in the script.
It is. Okay.
Yes. This is what I found interesting about this. So they walk into this to the hotel room. They do a real awkward bump into each other to kind of
Yes.
chuckle at their excitement, and then they go in opposite directions.
They each have their designated. Oh, this is a nifty spot.
Well, seriously, I walk into a hotel room with my husband for the first time, and I go, I'm going to go check out the shower. I'm going to go look at the chest of drawers. Like, we don't go opposite directions. If anything, we throw stuff on a bed and collapse.
Well, you know what it is not just the exercise bike. If you look at the end of the pan shot that shows the room, there's a teeter-totter.
Oh yeah.
It's
Because
in
they
the
use
script.
That, they use
Does
that
it say
later.
teeter-totter?
It
Yeah.
was seesaw.
Seesaw. Okay. Did they think that monkeys can't have anything unless they have like the little
Toys?
Toys to play with?
So we see them kind of bump into each other, run opposite directions. Stevie and Lewis are just so excited for them. They're just super happy about this. And we walk in, and then we start to pan around the room, and we see nothing but, I didn't notice the champagne buckets, but it was
wine or whatever.
It was
Yeah.
baskets and baskets and baskets and
Flowers,
flowers and
yeah.
flowers and baskets and all multicolored. I mean, it was just really, really innate. What's interesting is Dana originally had in there their flower-filled suite, which contains numberless gift baskets from members of the public, is who it says this is from, piled high with bananas. There was not a banana
No,
in
there was
any
not.
of that shot because I did look for the bananas. So he wanted to make one more gag about
One
the
more ape
bananas,
joke, yeah.
and then didn't. They just said they decided to cut that line. It then says 2 further gifts with cards attached are a small seesaw and a stationary bicycle. Now, if you're watching the scene like we are minute by minute, you see those things,
And you don't
but they
know
do
why.
become relevant.
in a later shot.
Yes, they
yeah.
Later
do,
on this week.
which is very odd in and of itself, and we'll get there at
Yeah.
that point. But these are just odd placements of things. When somebody's welcomed in, you can imagine flowers. You can
imagine
imagine
food.
foods. You can imagine the champagne, even though we don't know that these apes can
Or maybe
handle.
like a statue or a painting or something like that. But you don't go, here's your exercise bike and,
And
your
a
kid's
seesaw.
toy. Yeah.
Here, big bows on things. You could even have really plush
Hang
robes
on.
and things like
I
that.
think Richard is having a revelation right now.
Holy
Hang
shit,
on.
are you all right?
No, it now makes sense to me now. I'm sorry. They mentioned the fact that there's a small seesaw, and later minutes we'll talk about it because I wanted to talk about the oddity of this device, and now it makes sense. Now, there is one more gift in this room that is in the script that may not have been shot. Can I mention it?
Go
Yes,
for it.
you can.
Stevie
I
is
don't know.
now-
Can you mention it?
Stevie is now on her
slap you.
knees unwrapping
Whoa.
Whoa, hey, wait.
a
Hey.
child's multicolored rubber ball.
Okay, that really got creepy right there. She's on her knees unwrapping a child's rubber ball.
A child's multicolored rubber ball.
Why?
I don't know.
So
But now
are
I
they
understand
thinking
why
that they
now I understand why the seesaw's there.
are they thinking they're kids? They're like children. They're not smart. What?
I think
There's okay. We'll
You
come
think
back
that-
to this later.
Okay, I'm.
only because I know other things about the movie later on down the line.
But I think I know what you're saying. All right,
I think they're projecting stuff later
all right,
on.
let's-
Okay,
let's
I
just-
just wonder in some previous iteration if things had transpired and
I
that
know what
had
you
occurred
guys
here.
are saying. I'm not stupid.
yes, you are. Shut up.
So, if they're trying to say she's pregnant, they have not given any indication before this that they should have set that up.
Okay, if they're fine. Sean knows that eventually that's part of the idea. As the only person at this table who has a child, I'm going to explain to y'all how children work. They come out and they lay in a damn crib for a long time before they ever get on any kind of bikes or teeter-totters.
Wait, they don't keep their heads directly up right from
or
birth
they play
canal?
with rubber balls.
I just want to say that if you walked into a hotel room and there was flowers and baskets and wine and you're unwrapping children's baby gifts,
Are they trying to get them pregnant? Because at that point, why don't
That's
you put
what
some KY there on the table for them?
They put condoms and needles out there. Just ding, 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 ding.
but I'm telling you, that's. I was wondering why there was a seesaw.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me
It
at
didn't-
all.
But the stationary bike is what throws it off. Do people think that apes need seesaw for entertainment?
I think that's the way I read it.
That's
They're
the way I
treating
read it
them
as
like
well. But
actual
now they're
chimpanzees.
adding Stevie is unwrapping a child's multicolor rubber ball. Are people gifting them toys they think that apes would play with? Or are they suggesting, is Dane trying to move into the direction that Sean is predicting
That a
later
kid
on
is
down the
somebody.
line?
Maybe.
But then
that's what
they're
it's-
sending
that's-
they're sending a very mixed message of here's kid toys, also get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
To make a baby.
Well,
Sorry.
I did have a note on when you were talking about them bumping into each other. I did notice in my notes here. I said, "Oh my, this music so sappy," and then they bump into each other. What is this? The beginning of love story?
Okay, so we're going to use.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the seesaw made no sense to me in the scene or later, and now it makes sense to me because it's not meant for them.
Yeah.
Maybe. And maybe they're thinking that because what do apes do when they're alone? They. So I'm going to use.
How do you know that if they're alone?
I'll never tell. I'm going to use your music as the secretary in the next part because that caught me immediately because it's a very major key,
Very sappy,
sappy.
yeah.
Using pretty tones so that it's very loving but playful. But then all of a sudden it cuts to, and it literally was
montage.
the Burt Bacharach kind of bump Ba-bum, ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-bum. You know, it's real happy and jovial. We're out having some fun as you get some
And look at
new
me.
clothes.
I'm like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I have to run away from everybody.
Before we get there, there's actually a little bit more to the scene that I don't know if it was shot, but it was supposed to be a little bit more of their fish out of water,
Okay.
naive apes in the city. Cornelius cautiously opens the refrigerator, jumps when it lights up, and is inspecting the manager's complimentary bottle of champagne. As we lose him and follow Zero through the bedroom to the bathroom, here she discovers 2 hygienically wrapped toothbrushes, unwraps one, and begins to brush her hair with it. Cornelius joins her in the shot and warily tests a small chromium lever. It flushes the closed toilet. They look at each other speculatively.
Damn, I was hoping you were going to say that was electric toothbrush and they had some fun with it. But, well, once again, they want a baby. Thank you.
And then it jumps to Lewis with Cornelius and bodyguard driving up to Carroll and Company, where a tailor removes his tape around Cornelius' chest.
Which begs the question.
That's unneeded. I see why they cut that or didn't shoot it.
The audience that's listening to us, they may know the scene, but yeah, it cuts basically to him getting fitted for a suit, and they don't see that.
So this begs the question: how technologically advanced were the apes in their civilization? Is plumbing something new to them? If we didn't see it in the movies. That doesn't mean it didn't exist.
I think we saw a sink. Didn't we see a sink when she was baking a cake in her apartment? In their house?
I don't know if we saw a sink. I don't remember that. But, you know, the apes really were a weird...
I mean, they have guns, they have carts, they have metallurgy because they're making bars and
Right.
stuff like that.
But they got a river to shit in. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
outside. You just walk outside.
Well, for all
gotta
we
poop.
know, they shit in a hand and throw it like other monkeys. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's what I love about both of you.
mean,
is we
because-
immediately went to monkeys flinging shit again.
Didn't J.K. Rowling just come out and said that the wizards before Harry Potter would just shit in public and just make it disappear? Have you not heard that?
Did she
No.
really say
She,
that?
she
She
literally
is my queen.
No, see, you're shitting me.
no. She's shitting you. Yeah, she came out that said before the Muggles came part of society that the magicians would just do their business in public and then make it vanish.
What? Why is that even relevant?
I
Why
don't
would you even
know.
feel like you need to go to that level of your community?
Somebody probably challenged her on something.
Is
and
it,
she
yeah,
said
has
that kind
something
of
written
thing.
down a note she has in the world building that she just kind of like,
what
here's a
little
side
kid?
back, guys.
What little kid came up to her and said, "Where does the magic shit go?" And that she went, "I'm going to figure that out."
And I'm going to tell you, you kid.
That's something a kid would ask you. That's the problem.
Okay, so to keep moving along,
Sorry.
after that we have the little bump in scene, and then it cuts to once again we're almost with the same motorcade. So we did the weirdness of they teach you when you write these kind of things, don't go from one scene to this scene right back to the same scene unless you're going to comedically play it as that, and they don't do anything with it. We're right back to the motorcade. We're coming down the Rodeo Strip kind of parts of Los Angeles.
Well, to your part, they probably shot all that at the same time.
Absolutely.
They're going to shoot the Brown Derby, then we're going to go and shoot outside Carroll and Company,
We're
then
gonna do
we're
all
going
our
to shoot out
exteriors.
Giorgio.
In fact, you can almost tell if you're looking at the first shot when the car pulls up in a really weird place on the street. They didn't stop where they should, but the shadows are at a harsh enough angle that the shadows are directly away from and against the building. If it's noon, that sun's
be
going to be
straight
more
up,
overhead,
yeah.
and those. So to the point that you just made, that first looked like it was set up one place.
In the morning,
They
maybe.
went down an hour later and shot the next one. So you're absolutely right. When they had the motorcade, they shot all this. But it's just a weird thing to do this because you could have even had Steve and I just almost called him Steve and Edie. You could have had Stevie and Lewis say, "We have a surprise for you." Bam. Hard cut to the inside where they are. You don't need this idea that they left again and got in another motorcade.
Right, to
You're
move
just
around.
there.
Well, they didn't give it wasn't written in the script to have the dialogue.
Or maybe
they literally just jumped to it, which is what they said.
Did they jump cut to it? Does it? in
Yeah,
the script,
yeah. So
did they jump cut inside, or does it say a motorcade pulls up?
driving up.
Okay.
That's
Cornelius and Lewis
so
with
unneeded.
bodyguard driving up to Carroll and Company, where a tailor removes his tape from around Cornelius' chest. I mean, he actually put it in there. Now he specifically mentions Carroll and Company again. I want to know if this was a famous company at the time that they needed.
They'd work things out. Yeah.
Do we see Carroll and Company in the shot?
don't
in the shot.
think-
I'm looking at it
let me
real
go
quick.
back.
I don't.
I think we cut to ends. Like you don't see
I see
the.
Jock Freeman.
I
the
see Carroll and
Cafe
Company.
Swiss.
I see Carroll and
Oh
Company.
yeah, you do. You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
see it
mean,
now.
you would have to look for it though. I mean,
Yeah.
you would have to know that's what you're.
It's
going,
not quite
yeah.
as apparent as the
Prominent,
Brown
yeah.
Derby or the Wilshire that we saw before, and plus it's behind a tree that kind of hides it.
They did something nice with this because this wasn't a planned visit. They had the assembled crowd outside kind of crowd him just a little bit. Like
The Beatles
it wasn't a
shot,
lot,
yeah.
like 5 or 10 people. Nothing dramatic. So I want to go to the joke that was inside. Or do
Hang
you
on,
have something
I
else
just
to
want to say something about when they pull up.
Yeah.
The woman in the white hat, the sunglasses, and the fur, which at that time, was a real fur. What I do like about her performance is she does a double take. Is that, and then as things transpire and she sees the monkey, she's literally in there looking at him. So at least there's some